Every time you start something, you eventually feel the guilt. You feel lazy, undisciplined, do not get to reach after your goals, while everyone seems to stay consistent and start reaching those goals. Well, you fall off after 3 days. And it's not because you're weak or anything. No, it's just that you do not have the four hidden patterns that allows you to do it. Because personally, before I could even do this routine that I'm doing right now, I need to learn this too. These are your four keys to open four doors of recipes that let you do and chase after those goals, what you want. So let's get into the first point. So as for the first reason, you do too many things. That is your first door that is opening. It's like you want to live in another country just by walking. And it may sound very confusing, but it is that you change something so fast, it cannot be done. Walking cannot be done fast. That is what I'm meaning with it. It's just that you have changed nationality with a snap of your fingers. No, that is what you're doing wrong. If you want to adapt something, change something, you need to do it step by step by step. You cannot climb entire mountains in a single go. No, you climb a small portion of the mountain. And each time you get better, you climb a smaller portion until you reach the top. And then the next mountain comes. That is your next goal you're going to reach. Changing is not bad. Let's get that out of the world first. But what is bad is that you're trying to change so fast that your own body cannot adapt to it. Your own mind just gets fried, fatigued, just because they cannot adapt to these changes. Let's take that for example. You try waking up this 5 a.m. morning routine, which first of all I'm not a fan of it. I do not support it, I'm not a fan of it. Simply, you ruin your whole sleep schedule. If you're someone who goes late to bed, then you suddenly try to wake up every day for your next year on 5 a.m. You're getting so less sleep. Your energy just drops, and then during the day, you cannot get anything done because you've waked up at 5 a.m. and that is good, you know. No, that is one of the things I encountered lately. I was waking up in the morning, working till late, but in between, I did not got much rest. I did not got much rest. So what happened eventually? Your energy levels are dropping, dropping, to the moment you're just sitting 2 hours on the couch because I do not feel the energy right now. It's like, first of all, why I'm against it is just that you have this whole routine, then you're tired before your day is even begun, before the most days of people has even begun. Nowadays, if I can, I love to wake up around 7:30, 8. Then I lay for 15, 30 minutes in my bed and then I get out. But then I want to sleep. I want to go to bed at 12. So then I have at least 7 hours of rest. It can be done in less, but it is just to do that consistently, that's hard. That's something you need to train for. But there's a theory behind this. And it goes like this. The brain doesn't adapt well to sudden extreme changes. So if it is that instead of you love doing classic colors, white, black, which I wear most of the times. No, you suddenly change it to all roses and flowers and much color. It's like going from A to Z or from Z to A. That are so big of a changes that before your brain has even adapted to it, you have discovered a new thing. And then you're still walking behind. Let your brain catch up first and then go on. Yes, it may take a lot more time, but at the end it will pay off because now you're just wasting time. You're wasting time while you're thinking you're going forward. That is not something you want to do. And then your brain burns out quickly. Just to try to keep up, this creates emotional resistance. And then you start falling for those cheap dopamine hits. Which sometimes, yes, I do have if I had 3 days of less sleep. As for now, I've sit an hour and a half on the couch just doing nothing. Yeah, I could have invested in something much more important. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know that the quality of your energy and the sleep does matter. And then you get decision fatigue, your brain is overloaded, your body just wants to put you in rest. And there's a solution to this. Well, it may sound very easy, but it's one of the hardest things to do. Just to try take little steps. And that is something I see these days. I have a best friend. She's been through a rough time. But now she wants to take multiple leaps of jumps. And when I say, can we hang out? You know what I get? No, I'm too tired. No wondering you're tired. Girl, or you're taking jumps, not steps, jumps. And that is creating that fatigue. So, to simplify this and put it in one sentence, to make this problem go away, write it with me. To make this problem go away, avoid taking big leaps, but take small steps instead. That is, in one sentence, what you need to learn of this point. Now, for the second point, I see what most people are doing is they try to copy someone while not adapting it to themselves. And what do I mean by that? For me, I have random times I need to work. Sometimes I have a lot of mornings, sometimes a lot of evenings, sometimes it's a mix, you can name it. So then a strict routine would not fit me. So those 5 a.m. morning routines would not fit me because I do not have a clear schedule I can make to it. If I just work from 9 to 5, then that 5 a.m. morning routine will be handy if I go to bed at 9, which does not work. What I see these days is that people pick routines for themselves. You're copying someone. Well, copying is not wrong. Adapting it not to yourself is wrong. So, to take this, you have a job that requires you to work until 11 in the evening. And you start at 2, and then you start a 5 a.m. morning routine. You come home. Average travel time here is 10 to 15 minutes, so to take that. But then you come home at 11:30. If you take some wiggle room, something runs longer, you can name it. You have just something of a spare time. And then you need to put your clothes off, brush your teeth, do your evening routine, Then you're already at 12. Before you start sleeping, because you need to wind down before sleeping, you're already at 12:31, and then you are prepared to sleep. They have 4 hours. Why do not take that 5 a.m. morning routine to my 8 a.m. morning routine until 11? Then I have some spare time, then I work. Then you get the quality of sleep, and it's still good for you. So you need to adapt it to what works for you. And that is just to give a theory behind this. Just what works for someone does not mean it works for them, because your life is not the same. That's what I had. I wanted to wake up earlier. But my bedtime was getting later and later. So you're shrinking your bedtime on two parts. So yeah, at some point you just burn out. Some people do it faster, some people take longer. But now if I want to wake up in the morning, as for today, now I'm at the period I need to rework this. But as for today, I went, because we had a wedding, at 1 I laid in my bed, and at 7 o'clock I woke up. That is 6 hours. But still, I slept 5. And then I need to work, do this, do some other things, and then I can sleep. But if I want to have a nice breakfast in the morning, I cannot do that, because then I need the quality of sleep to get my energy. So adapt it to you. And that is just the solution to this point. Build a routine that fits you in reality, not on paper, on reality. Build it to what you need. So just make a quick list of all the things you value and what you put time in. So if it is going towards the gym, if it is you like to hang out with a friend daily, or you take a drink on the weekends, then you have that, then adapt it. That's what I do with my work. I get my work schedule, and then I adapt everything around it. So in that way, I will always know it's right. And the third thing, it is a common belief when you try to stay consistent. If you mess up one day, you think that you're now lost. While all those wealthy people, do you think they have not done a single cheat day? Or that they just thought, fuck it. Social media brings it that it's the end of the road, but it's not. It's everything except the end of the road, the end of the road. Just skipping one day does not mean it's wrong. Skipping multiple days is wrong. So if you needed it one day to regroup yourself, get your act together, and to push through, there's nothing wrong with. But if you take it consistently days off, then you will fall behind. That is the trap. Only social media puts it in a different light for you. Let's take this. The day you start rolling a snowball, and it gets bigger, bigger, and bigger, and bigger. And at some day you just needed one day to regroup yourself. That snowball has not shrinking or anything. No, it stayed the same. And then you continue on it. But if you wait too long, eventually it will melt. That is the easiest way I can explain this. Now, and to tie a solution to this and a theory to this is rooted in an all or nothing mindset. You need to have a backup plan too. They present it like, I've gone all in, I've left everything behind just to do this. Yeah, that's how they get views. That's reality. You need to leave many things behind. But again, that takes time. It's not just one snap in the fingers and they've done it. And that is just, it ties to failure and past experiences. And when you have something that you try to do consistently and then you fail one day, then those past experiences come up. And then you just start going downhill. Your snowball is shrinking. Your traction is limiting. And you're just going down a river, not going uphill. And to tie a solution to this, never shift to the never miss twice mindset. So what does this mean? As I said, if you need one day to regroup yourself, to think it out, to recharge, and then go on, no problem. Consistency also means getting back on track, because no one in this entire world can stay consistent for the whole life. At some point, they need a day to regroup themselves. And for me, that's a day I do not have to make a video 9 out of 10 times, which can be tomorrow. I do not have to make a video. It will be handy if I do it for Monday, because otherwise I need to do it very early. But it is something I can think about. But if that is the day I need to regroup myself, and then I stay consistent for the next 6 days uploading my videos, at the front, nothing is wrong. At the back, I just took another day for myself. And that is what you need to apply to yourself too. Now, this fourth point, I will go fast for you because otherwise we're getting too late with this video. You're relying on motivation. I love many TikToks that represent motivation instead of discipline. What the difference is between it, but also what is the problem behind it. Because motivation is just a spike of energy, but when that energy drops, everything is gone. That is just motivation. Consistency is just putting it enough to get you the same momentum. It's the same as putting your car on cruise control. Just putting consistency of fuel, electricity, hydrogen, diesel, you can name it, through your engine to maintain that same speed, that same momentum going forward. That is consistency. And motivation is just top speed testing. What is the fastest you can get? And then you're just backing off completely. That is the whole difference. So you start strong on Monday, full vision, everything. And by the time you get it Thursday, you've lost your motivation, you've lost your vision, and you're back at square zero. Great job, man. What do you have accomplished? Absolutely nothing. Now, motivation is a temporary emotional state, not a long-term fuel source. Your brain loves comfort and will talk to you in that way. It just pushes you into comfort, things that gives you cheap dopamine. Because then it does not have to do anything that it does not want. Without clear systems, triggers, cues, you will always rely on emotions. And as one thing, consistency does not rely on emotion. So to stop feel like a mountain or roller coaster goes up, down, avoid getting your motivation through emotions. Get your motivation and discipline through things that you want to acquire. That you have an emotional bond to react with. Not that is fueled by it. And it may sound very similar, but it's a difference. And the difference lays in this tiny part of using it as fuel or seeing it as fuel. Because if you see it as fuel to continue, then you will stay consistent to reach the goal as fast as you can. But if you're using it as fuel, at some point, if it goes south, you just drop off with it. So that is in 20 minutes why you cannot stick to routines. It may sound harsh, it may sound wrong to you, or everything you can say, but it is hard reality. So, if this helped you, if this is something that you feel related to, that you need more on, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because on next week, I will go over how to build serious routines that last you your entire life. So if you want to catch up on this and join on that, click the subscribe button, click the like button, set on your notifications for next Saturday, which is the 9th of May. Set it in your agenda, I don't care, write it somewhere, and then I see you in that video.